Carrie, one of the things I love reading about Alice Guy is that she posted signs on her set that said, "Be natural."
Yes, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
And right now, by the way, there's a documentary being made about Alice Guy entitled Be Natural, which, sends out her attitude about her filmmaking, which is so wonderful. And so, again, hope springs eternal that more and more people will learn about this incredible woman. But one of the things I want to point out about the film we just saw, again, 1906, it was fairly revolutionary at that point, just using things like the double exposure she used for the angels and for the resurrection. And was sophisticated filmmaking for 1906. And now we're going to jump ahead to 1912. And so in 1910, Alice and her new husband, Guy-Blache, who was a cinematographer, moved to America and settled in Fort Lee, New Jersey, which sounds strange, but that was then the hub of filmmaking. Or certainly became, and she created her own company, Solax, with the backing of European money. And she was turning out, she had 2 children, and she is turning out films of at least 1 a week at a rate exactly similar to D.W. Griffith, who's working at the same time in Lower Manhattan at Biograph, that she's working in Solax. So at the time, there are all these new filmmaking companies sprouting up.
And wasn't she the first female to head up her own company?
Well, she had been that since 1897 when she became the head of Gaumont Production.
I mean, that's one of the things we're going to keep talking about again and again. Why have we never heard of Alice Guy-Blache? Why has her name been taken out of the history books?
Well, and not just Alice. There's many, many others.
Yes.
I mean, Vanity Fair a couple of months ago ran something calling Ida Lupino one of the first women directors, feisty Ida Lupino. I'm like, what do we have to do to get people to acknowledge this incredible wealth of incredible talented women who were out there from the very beginning?
Well, that's what's such a revelation about so many of the films that we're going to see, and so many of the innovations that they created. And one of my favorite films in the series was called Falling Leaves, and having to do with TB and children. As I said, what I thought and what you were saying before is her feminine touch is you really get the sense of life around that time.
And they're very dear. There's a sweetness to it without getting trickly.
Exactly.
And you can see it's real acting. I mean, it's not just that, cut out paperboard stuff. I mean, I think the fact that she did that, be natural, and you see that in her stories and in the acting she got out of her actors. There's
a particularly moving scene with a child. It's a very beautiful realization, I think, of the story. And did she write her own scripts?
Most of the time, yes.
That's amazing. So here we go. Let's see a few of Alice Guy-Blache's short films that she made at her own company, Solax, from 1912 and 1913. Here's Falling Leaves, followed by Canned Harmony, and finally, A House Divided.